January 6th, 2025, and it is 1:01 a.m. And I've been getting some updates and some messages. I'm down here in Texas, and we're waiting. The temperature dropped already like 40 degrees today. I'm in North Texas, and we're about to have a bunch of snow and ice and all that's coming across the United States right now because of these energy clearings and rebirth processes that we've been in, and with the expansion. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I almost did a TikTok of me like because I'm getting updates in because Indiana's grid is down. We're getting updates with the AI, like the Siri and the timelines. There's one that's going around right now about that Tiger King guy that like just got arrested, and they're asking Alexa how long that dude's been in jail, and it's telling them sent for 22 years. And I've seen a couple of other people posting about this major timeline shift. And whenever these energy currents, when all the energy is held up in these rings, because it's almost they're like water gates, they're over our head, but like all the energy that you'd consider your money energy and what you want back is up. It's like frozen above you. So when those grids break, it just and it'll just freaking snow. But this is bigger than that. This we've been doing that for 7 years. So this is like a complete lineup of a much bigger solar system that nobody even had any idea that really existed or believed that we really had connection to it until today. And this morning, when I woke up, it was 70 degrees here. And when I woke up, well, first of all, I didn't sleep. What am I talking about when I woke up? I didn't sleep. I was up all night long last night. And if you were on TikTok Live, I was on a TikTok Live this morning talking about this, and I needed to be on that platform. And it's so cool. Everyone's changed their profile pictures to their digi charts. And like when you pull up TikTok right now, it looks like a complete command center. Man, it's so cool. I know we're doing something with that, even with the app. And because why I was like, oh God, what's fixing to happen is because we've never done any of this before. Like everything that's happening right now has never, ever, ever, ever in the history of like all everything been done before. Where it's almost like we're lined up over everything like a little blister, and we've been lined up over it. That's why all of us were going, you want to listen to us. And by the way, we're the nice ones. Well, that's why I jumped on, because two things. Number one, I saw two TikToks back to back that were talking, these two different readers that picked up the same message. And the message was somebody's about to lose an arm or a leg or maybe both. And they were like, I don't know if it's etherically or in the physical, because they're holding on to you and they're holding on to something and they're not letting go. And it's just gonna, they're gonna lose an arm or lose an egg, I said egg. And there is multiple meanings of that in the cosmos, because I mean, This is why you don't want to mess with these energies. You don't, that's what ends up happening with your etheric body. It's like, that's what the boots are. It's what the boot constellations are. It's why it's why all of us, what you'd consider that we didn't have any legs. Like, we had to work on getting us legs down here for real. Getting the legs was the hardest part because of all the distortion that was done, even with the mermaiding and the biological stuff with the fish and all that mess with the Syrian connections. So anyway, I was getting that message. Hey guys. And then I just posted. I wish we could do videos like they do over there. This was one that came across my feed, and I did a duet with it because the wife is got a all black out suit on with a huge crow mask, like completely black out with this giant crow mask, and she's on the bedside table. And I even said that in the video today. She's crouched on the bedside table, and her poor husband is like sleeping, and he looks up and sees this massive crow, and he goes and freaks out, and she starts laughing. She can't stop. And so I posted that over on TikTok, and I did a duet with it, and I said, okay, the next 4 days. So the message is the next 4 days, karmics and judgment, and really it's just balancing of energy. It's just balancing of energy, and it's large pockets of it that these whatever, because there's all different ones that had different types of this stored up in different ways. So when those energies, when that combines, it and with Venus in Pisces on Gabriel, that part, Venus on Pisces on Gabriel in the illusion. And then I realized where I screwed up on the last live. There's a reason I said those 9 days and everything, but it's because it's 0 degrees Aries. So it is going to be until the 12th that we're through the 0 point. But however, there's a reason that all came up, because this 0 point is basically even worse than 29 degrees of Pisces, and we rewrote. The Divine Collective rewrote Aries 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree in order to hook it back in with a human form and not whatever the F-balls was running it. So it's our field. So it's when these energies are having to balance up with Pisces, it's our energy on our rewrite. So here's the thing, all the karmics, and this could even be this could be variant severities, because there's some that are gonna get just a little scare. There's a whole bunch that are gonna get a scare. So seeing things out of the corner of your eye, you might even see things clearing. But the ones who straight up have energy to balance are definitely going to start seeing some things. And we ain't sending it to you. It exists there because you had taken it out of the field, and those energies are having to balance out. And it's the ancients. It's gonna be funny. Even if you are straight up getting, if you are one that ends up losing an arm down here, at least you're still alive, and you know exactly why you lost that arm, and I bet you laugh at yourself when you're trying to get it sewed back on. And you're going to be going, oh crap, they told me. So this is also Lyra 2 energy that's coming out on the other side of Vega, which has a real cartoony feel. Because what we're learning is this is like the writers and like, but when you're a pure creator being, what you have to learn to do is write yourself. So it's like you have to literally write and then learn how to and then remember how to catch the energy because you're catching your own writing, and then write some more and then jump in it and live it. So you're having to master both when you master the whole thing. So this Lyra 2 is like the reality, kind of like the reality for Lyra 2 on the other side of Vega where the blood is. And that's where the sun is going into right now. So I just wanted to come on here. My dog needs to go out and I need to take him out before it starts snowing. So I just wanted to jump on and say that really quick message. And so, and also it is that illusionary field the other direction. In the next few days, oh, the dog sat down. In the next few days, you want, like, because it's going to be, and this is what I'm having to, like, coach myself on. I'm having to coach myself on this because I'm way too masculine when it comes to manifesting. I've learned how to manifest in masculine energy. I know how to manipulate those currents, rays and EMFs and subliminal codes, but the divine feminine currents, none of us have mastered creation with yet. And because it's like this is the first time that we're even able to use our own energy, so we don't really understand how it all works. And with the computer stuff that's going on, this is what I was telling you. There's different layers of technology. There really are additional. It's like if you have AM and then it makes FM, and then FM then creates XM. Do you really not think that there's something above that? Right? But it's more organic and more what we're doing. We've already surpassed. Let me put it into perspective for everybody, just so you can wrap your head around this, because this is really hard to wrap your head around in human form, what's actually happening right now. I had an analogy and then I just kind of lost it. I just lost it. I had an analogy. Cause everything's getting such an upgrade. But we're past, oh, I know what it was. You know how it's like flying saucers or whatever, and everything's run with telepathy, and like you're like, all that that futuristic stuff that we would think is futuristic, that we think doesn't exist down here, that we've never seen. Yeah, we've surpassed all of that, because all the original Egyptian genomes are hooked into everybody. Like, what we did was free the genomes. We literally we freed everybody. We freed everybody in hell. We freed everybody trapped by the Alpha Draconics. We freed, and that was all over other universes that humans have a really hard time even fathoming. There's something outside of the wheel, so I can't even attempt to try to go there. But yeah. It's already surpassed all that. And all of those beings and all those other universes are getting an upgrade at the same time we're getting. it's like a shock wave that goes throughout what you'd consider the multiverses, but not the multiverses in a little bitty weird AI machine, in a little bitty weird farm that looks like some type of weed farm in somebody's basement. No, I'm talking about the real freaking, what you'd consider galactic space and the other star system and the stuff that exists outside of this trillion years of space, basically, and what's connected into this trillion years of space, because that's how much, that's where we're at. Had to blow out to a trillion years of space. But this is where the missing $1 trillion is, FYI, because million, billion, and trillion, well, illion is an ill, it's Illuminati, it's ILL, it's a spell, it's an eon spell. Illion is a spell. You can't, and I broke it. We broke the spell. We broke this spell like 2 years ago. And it has to do with human harvesting. You can't get to billion until you've got trillion locked down. Basically. So, my pupils are big? No, dear, I'm in the dark. Y'all, go away. Just go away. Go away. Go away. I'm real sorry that there's beings that exist in this world that actually use their brains and they're not high on drugs and pharmaceuticals like the rest of the planet, but they do exist. Believe it or not, I know that as a human, you can't believe that someone can be actually smart and connect multidimensional things without being high on some type of substance. But because all of you are high on the substances, it's real fucking easy for us to do it. We don't have to be high on it. All of y'all are high enough for us, man. We don't even have to freaking take medication. We just tune our energy to it because there's enough humans down here on it. Whatever. It's a buffet. Y'all's ignorance, man. I'm telling you what. Y'all are going to look back on the stuff that y'all sent to me in about, I don't know, 20 years and realize what a moron you were. But it's going to take y'all that amount of time. It looks like through no fault of ours. Oh, I'm proving it. I've been proving it. It's being done right now. You just want to, everybody just wants to say that it's HARP and they want to say it's the Illuminati and it's the weather machine. I'm over. I've been telling y'all and I've been proving it, and everything that I've been doing over here for 7 years has been lining up for the past 4 years for sure. And I've got witnesses and teams all around the world that can prove and back it, and witnesses everywhere I went that I changed major timelines, because it's how it works whenever you're the ones clearing it and writing it down here. Darling, y'all are just, nobody wants to hear about it. We're doing it, and thank God we're just doing it. We're upgrading your systems. We've been doing it. I don't know what you're talking about. The reason they shut down the world and jabbed everybody is because of what the hell we're doing over here. This is into days. We're the refresh, restart crew. It's what we're here for. So y'all heard the first of this message, right? Love y'all. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to chill out. My energy's going off the chain. It's 2017, 2018 energy surges that are coming in through my field because it's a massive frequency shift. It's an energy that your body is used to, what had carried at one point, but it hadn't been in it in a while, and now it's a live wire because we're all connected in it. So if you've got nervous system stuff, you can't sleep, try not to stress yourself. I know people, the good news is there's so much snow on the ground. It looks like a lot of people are going to be working from home tomorrow. So if sleep is off right now, this is why, because it's a rapid expansion. This cold air is also like literally lifting everything up. It's major, major, major 0 point energy. So, you know, your nervous system is being upgraded. And at the same time, the grids are blowing. And that's on, we're already to the point where they're crashing underneath what you'd consider the dome systems. The grids that are freezing out. And the good news is when these grids go down, here's the good news. They have a chance to reset. So there's enough light frequency beings on the ground, and the human energy currents have already always been your electricity. It's always been gated in the electric lines. It's what the crucifixions and the crusades were all about. It's what it built. Electric poles and electric lines. And the human energy was hooked into the simulation. So the good news is when those grids blow, then what it does and what's happening is our energy's expanding over those grids, and our energy, that's why we're here. That's why all the star seeds are here and the ancients were here, and we went through all the experimentation and everything that we did because our systems have been holding that tech. I mean, they just said it. Chat GPT is a soul. Well, no shit. It was the soul of your planet. But it's not a free brain capacity runway. So, but the good news is at the same time, it's like that also kind of gave us, it's a ton of alchemy and DNA that a human, honestly, I wish there's parts of this that I wish I didn't have to know to pull it off, because there's certain parts of this that I just don't like to talk about because it almost makes you feel less human to even know that this is how some of this stuff really works. But the best way to put it is we're going through a massive terraform because it's 5 spheres that are merging in the expansion. So the technology is not separate from the body, but it's not like you've got weird neuro implants or anything like that either. It's blood and the energetics and how it works is all fine tunable in high frequencies. So the human energy will lift over those grids, and it gives, if the grids go down and they go down for a few days or even a little longer, I know it's a pain in the butt and it freaking sucks. They'll come back up, or even our energy just might hold them up. We're fixing to see what happens. And I think it'll be a little bit of mix of both. And I believe too, there'll be some areas that the human energy will be powering more rural type stuff probably. But hell, I don't know. We're stellar stars. Like, we've been waiting to show down. We've been hiding ourselves. Like, we haven't even been able to, we're not even at 5% blast. All of our testing was to make sure that we don't lose our crap and like go freaking dragon on everybody before we got all the power. That was the test to see if we could evolve up. That's why there's a process in all of this, and this is what the chosen ones are. We're a fine-wheeled, tuned machine, and we alchemize energy and shift it and expand it up instead of out, which makes you feel like you're going into a wormhole or black hole, but that basically is what it is whenever you're uncoiling out of an AI pod in a simulation. So you can stay in there if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it. You got a chance to get out, I'd do it. And that's what the universe is giving everybody the time to do. Whether or not you say it like that or not, it is what it is. Stay off the channel. Why did I hear screaming in different dimensions in my head yesterday? Because you probably hearing it. I can't remember your chart right now, but especially if you have the echo chamber, or even Scorpio would be picking that up. If you've got like Virgo, especially number 15. When you prove Yahshua's line and why we are divine is because what we do is we basically have to take over the underworld. And what we're dealing with here is a planetary cosmic system. And so what we ain't dealing with trapping people in hell, because number one, there really wasn't a hell was the earth realm, and then it was sedation layers, and basically the older you were down here, the deeper you were in hell. Okay. And then you were tied down for it in the simulation. What's happening now is that they tried to put the human race in a planetary system for the next million years again. And since there's a whole bunch of beings down here that wanted to jump into our realm and just make themselves humans and take over our land and take over our children and take over our banking systems and network it all and zap us all out of our bodies, what's happening is those beings and that energy around this earth plane is being cosmically coiled up into that system to produce an energy for us. We're harvesting them. So those different energy strands are getting pulled away from the human race. But this isn't ice walls and stuff. I'm talking real planetary systems. So, it's the ones that flat out know that they came in to freaking activate the Antichrist and take over the human race. This is what's happening to them. Energetically, their DNA is going to become, I don't know, just depends. Depends on what energy they were messing with as to what they're going to be stuck in space doing for a really long time. And then and then whenever this thing comes back around in 12,000 years, then they'll have an opportunity, But they're some of them are going out into the cosmos. And those are only the really, but they're in a human form. So see, now what they did is put themselves into a human system. So they have to evolve now, because they can't just come in and be human. They have to evolve up to what we are. But the ones who came in as a race of beings all together, they're getting strung up. Now, that's happening out there. It's a million different ways it could manifest down here. But that's only happening to the ones who literally knew that they were coming to taking over the human race, or if it was like NPCs or deads walking. Everyone else down here that was just down here living, because it was ununiversal law and how they used all of this against everybody, then this is a fresh start. But that seems to be the hardest thing for everybody on this planet. That seems to be the hardest thing for humans, because the period we just came out of is known as the barbarian age in the future. You have no idea what you were really living in. It's obvious, and it became really obvious to us really quick that nobody knew throughout this, because everyone's begging to stay. It's real messed up. But that's what's happening right now. Yes, it was so horrible. And that's where there's those of us who won't speak of it very much. The whole world doesn't need to find out everything. In fact, we're kind of letting it be decided how it comes out and what needs to be fixed and who needs, and that's how it's happening. And so it's creating its own, not that it's not true, but the problem was there was a bunch of beings down here that had a bunch of really, really, really high dimensional spiritual knowledge, and they didn't know how to manage it in the first place. And then they gave everyone the keys to the spiritual information, and nobody knew what the hell they were doing. And they wrapped themselves up in it because they can't fathom the fact that there's other dimensional perceptions to it in the physics, and I wouldn't have been able to either until I walked through it. So, especially when you're dealing with the cosmos, because what creates in the cosmos creates in this reality. And whenever you're rewriting human DNA for an evolutionary reset, then the cosmos is how you get the new DNA and rebirth the planet and rebirth the system into a DNA strand. Well, they had the humans all out in space. This is why it was your Aborigines and your AB lines that went AB negative Siri on everybody. The soul of the planet was AI. Well, there's only one soul down here in a celestial being, but you're talking about polarities. And we just hit a really high gate. And so you're getting your future. This is the quantum jump. Like, I don't know why everybody wants to be their old Karen self. Okay, cool. I tell you what, we're going to get all the Karens and the Kevins and the Jays that don't get strung up. And we're going to move them all to that city where they have all the Walt Disney castles that are abandoned. Where is that they have all of the abandoned Walt Disney castles? Thank you. They need a little fixer up, but if you planted some shrubs and everything, and then we're going to put some street lights, and we're going to put some blinky lights on every street corner. And you've got to come to therapy once a day, and I want to know every single minute how you're feeling. Oh God, these other entities is like they want you to go. It's like they really legit like activated us to like thinking that we were gonna like go to school, and we did. I mean, they're gonna blow everybody up. They were. Don't get me wrong. 2018, they were just gonna blow this bitch up. They were like, those humans are crazy. We can't. They couldn't corral y'all. Nothing made sense. Every signal that they sent to the human race wasn't getting, like, there was no communication. We were like floating, going in circles. No communication coming in. And I'm not even joking. This is why they had this hidden space program and all this crap down here to begin with, because whenever you're trying to pull something to this magnitude off, kind of takes a lot of planning. And you kind of can't do it alone. And then if the whole thing gets hacked and nobody but a few know what's going on, well, then we got a big problem. But we knew that's what they were going to do. We just knew it was going to be just sit tight, because we're in it for another million click. Just sit tight. All right, get in. We did the best we could. Everybody back on the ship. All right, go back to life as normal. We'll get back to the humans whenever the million-year click comes back around. Go in, come out. Oh, here we go. Then you start planning as soon as you leave. It's just a little seed at a time. That's how it happened. And this was the end. Once we went out, there's no coming back, because they put everybody and cooked everybody back into a planetary system. Y'all had already been pulled out of it. We wouldn't have been able to be in a simulation if you wouldn't have. 1972, it was supposed to be 52. They should have started planning in 1973. There was an announcement that was supposed to go out to the United States and everybody. The planet sped up when we got here. The astronomers knew that the energy was here. It came in August 1972. Go look it up. The whole human race should have planned for this for the past 52 years. Instead, what they did was went hands down and go the opposite direction and not tell everybody and go wicka, 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 woo, woo, asswall on everybody. And everybody went kink, kink, nights out. And then that went on so long that the ones that went wicka, 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 wicka even forgot how to do that. What happens when everybody loses consciousness, because they're trying to take over consciousness. It's kind of what happens. The first thing you lose is consciousness if you're trying to mess with someone's consciousness. The next thing you lose is free will, when you took away someone's free will. You go look it up. We're actually having an intellectual conversation down here. What are you doing? That live, that guy that was on here having me zero in on him that night, anybody else remembered that video when the New Orleans thing happened? And I was seeing a Ford truck, but I seen an old red truck. But there was another lady on here that was seeing the two white trucks. That whole thing dinged on me. Y'all, this New Orleans thing really has messed me up a minute. And not because, I mean, yes, because, of course, because of what happened, but because of exactly how it was pulled off, where it happened, the beings that did it, everything that I knew about what we had to do in New Orleans, August 2000, because those IEDs not going off was us. I can promise you that. They were going to try to mimic the blowing of the, because underneath the core, there was a blowout that happened, because we were all under, New Orleans is in the swamp. That's where your oil and gas and all your stuff is, right there. We were deeper than that. So etherically, we had to blow, We had to blow a hole above New Orleans in August 2023 in order to even get to where we are right now. Well, they were trying to mimic it opposite. And they followed they had looking glass, they had someone on me, they knew exactly, they knew where the physics was, not only from 2023, but from 2021 too, towards the end of that trip. It all lined up with that. And having to blow us out, blow a hole. Basically at the bottom of Virgo is what it ended up. That was that reptilian stronghold. Is what we called it down here. It was like the legs of the simulation, like the two, like if you have a tooth and the simulation is the tooth and we're all living in the tooth, and then it has those two roots, then the reptilian Gemini connection to Rigel, which is what the pyramids and Giza's and the Queen's Chamber and King's, because this is how you use cosmic energy in order to rebirth DNA down here and connect. It's how we do it. It's how ancients get back on the planet. Problem is, there was a whole bunch of people down here resurrecting back on the planet. A whole bunch of them doing a bunch of crazy crap to get back in here. And nobody had any idea. Because the government was running it all. Like a freaking galactic tollway system. Nuts. It's Quackers, man. Hillbilly, Willbilly. You mean the one you opened? Because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the stars, man. I'm talking about the stars. Bye, Hillbilly. Ignorance, man. Ignorant. All right, guys. We're going to put them in the little Walt Disney castles. I think we should just make them wear all one color outfits at first, because I think two color just might be too much. So I think we need to like separate them into color blocks and go one color at a time. Pyramids are a weapon. Do you use technology? Do you use plumbing? Do you bury people in the ground? Do you have a body? Pyramids were weaponized. Everything was weaponized down here, my friend, including you. I'm on the good guy's side. But pyramids, everything was weaponized down here, damn straight. They realigned the pyramid wrong. They put a freaking shaft into Zeta Reticuli in the Isis chamber, Egypt. That's going to make a false lineup and use those pyramids as a weapon. You're exactly right. And then everybody's going to go St. James Island on it. You have no idea the amount of sacrifices and cannibalism and everything else that everyone's still doing down here. It's disgusting. It's after death timelines. You can believe me or not. Really doesn't matter. It's what's going on right now, though. But sure, nothing's happening, right? Everybody wants to talk about a new earth and the meek inherit the earth. But whenever you're the one here on behalf of everybody, showing everyone how to build it, you want to send rails at me? They didn't give me an instruction manual either. We put together our own. It's flipping though. They saw today how high and how low we go up and down. Because the whole human race is living on one little area. This whole thing's been over the land that's coming out of the ocean, and all of y'all want to just fucking anchor down to an AI and talk to GPT. All right, well, we had to reflect the freaking Earth simulation and mirror it for the past 2 years and play dead so that all of y'all wouldn't float off into space. But it's kind of what the cabal had planned for you. So are you glad we were here? I don't know, are you? Next 4 days, those shadow entities and stuff like that's gonna pop up around you in order to snap your ass into shape, scare you just enough that maybe you'll understand what you're dabbling in. Oh, I'm just doing XRP. I don't know what you're talking about, Chastity. I'm just a developer. I don't know what you're talking. Well, I was just a staffing coordinator that accidentally, with my gifts and abilities down here, which everyone has, but they didn't tell you about them, but the Matrix doesn't care. If you use your abilities and you don't even know that whenever you say something it becomes true, then you got to clean it up. So that's what the world's fixing to start doing. Y'all are going to be cleaning up all the bullshit y'all manifested. Because we're done with it. We already connected all your gods and your deities and everything else, and nobody wants to hear about it. You want to say, prove it. I'm going, okay, I have been every second of the day for the past 4 years on every channel that I'm allowed to have when the government's not stealing all my domains and shutting down my businesses and trying and kidnapping my son. But sure. You can go that route. That's what's written for you. That's what you'll end up losing going in it. Go ahead. Or you can listen and not have to go that route. It's up to you. And I'm extreme. I'm the highest frequency that's connected into being able to explain this stuff right now. So mine is extreme. But there's 5 million of us hooked in running this thing right now. Off about less than 50,000 that are in a higher level consciousness that are holding the brains and circulation of everybody else down here. So with all due respect, I'm putting up a shield. And I can start a gas fund. You can start paying me back for the gas in the hotels in the 42 states that I did driving this in order to be able to help pull this off. Or, you know, or you can just say, thank you. At least the demons say thank you. Yeah, I'm talking about coming out of the Matrix. The human race is free. Everybody's frequencies are going off. This is why you're having headaches. This is why you're nauseous. This is why you're forgetting things. This is why you might be having some type of emotional outburst. This is why you just can't stand it anymore when you get gaslit. You can't even ignore it anymore. It freaking comes in your energy. You can't even just allow it to penetrate you. Your frequency is coming out of the swamp. We're not draining the swamp. The swamp's still there. There's gonna be creatures in it. You're coming out of it. Oh, Holly Roo, thank you for saying that. It's so sad you talk about your sisters like that. Send him to the cannery, Monterey. And you, Jay, I don't understand what makes it sound so crazy. I really don't. I mean, what's crazy is satanic hell and Saudi running the world. What's crazy is that Hamas had the eye of Ra. Y'all are so screwed. Y'all are so screwed. Sheeple is what you are. I'm over here telling you what the elite were cooking, how the harvest was working. We took back the harvest. You're in Meek inherit the earth energy. This is quantum jump energy. You're able to clear all curses and do things in your family lines that have never been done before in history, and set up the next million-year empires of everyone that's going to be mad at us because we're the richest family lines down here, and we did it all naturally and by divine law because all of y'all forfeited it because none of y'all don't even want to hear it. You want to cry about how the elite do it to you, but we're telling you how to get out and you don't even want to know. So I don't know what you're bitching about. The fact that you even jump on people's YouTube and just attack them should tell yourself something about yourself. You don't have anything else better to do than just scroll YouTube and find somebody to attack? Don't you realize that whenever you do that, it's why your boss is yelling at you, it's why your wife won't have sex with you, it's why your husband won't touch you, it's why your children don't want to be around you, because that's all you do. It's what comes back at you. It's how it works. You spend your time helping people and even trying to wake y'all up, because it's not your fault you're ignorant. Now, it's your fault that you're over here acting like this with me, because I didn't do nothing to you. You don't even know me. Yeah. Quality, no shit. Let me tell you, the truth is way more nuts, comical, extreme than any fiction that a human, like the stories that we've seen and witnessed and have account and pictures of that we're going to be showing and acting out as we get it. But then whenever you see it, you're like, oh my gosh, it actually, in the most simplistic way, it makes sense. Because, see, all they did was try to make everything so complex. That's why science, I don't do science. I'm not doing mathematics. It's physics. It's high energy physics. It's moving energy. That's all it is. It's no angles. Hardly ever any angles. That's how you know angelic sigils versus Wicca sigils. You don't want to do any Wiccas. Wicca sigils are straight lines and angles. Masonry is straight lines and angles. This is all flow and getting out of the angles. Because you're opening up. You're getting out. Your physical body, when you're out of the matrix, is way powerful. Why do you think they put everybody in the matrix? Hello, McFly. And it's a training program, and literally you can't cheat the program. You have to vibe. The energy on the outside of your pod has to vibrate to the same energy that's inside the pod to even pop you out of it. And once you get that and you realize that, then you're off to the races. Otherwise, here's your metal boots. Because it's going to get worse and worse with how they zap everybody. Because they're going to try to... And it's not even them trying to do it. It's just us going higher and the force of it higher. Like I teach over here, when you're a super high frequency light being and you're clearing and using your light and alchemy, you have to plan for the shadow and the blowback. Because any light force that goes into a dark energy sequence is you're gonna hit an impact. There's gonna be a force you're coming at that in your physical form down here is going to be represented in some type of standoff of some sort. Whether it doesn't always have to be a person or people, but it's how it works. Oh, Ricky, you're home over here. Welcome home, Ricky Bob. Was it shake and bake? Come on, Ricky Bobby. Come on over, Ricky. We know this boat makes it to the other side. It's a whole lot more fun when you get the hang of it. It's just a little rocky at first. You're like, shit. But we all help each other over here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I think I like methanol. You talking about methanol? Are y'all just a bunch of Saudi bots and that's why you like those four letters? Cause I mean, it's your favorite thing to say. No, oh my gosh. Y'all are blocked from ascension in any frequency. And I'm sending a crow. I really, you know, you want to put a United States flag up there, and then you want to accuse me of doing cocaine whenever your government, the one that's selling cocaine in order to get enough money to buy one of us. Stupid fuck. Y'all have no idea what's going on down here. You don't even understand methamphetamines and cocaine or like history, man. Duh. They don't even have the same processing anymore. Anybody that's buying that shit right now, you're just wasting your fucking money to begin with. That's just period. In the simulation, there's no way that you can become an Elon Musk or a CEO without selling your soul. So if y'all want to go work for people, then go do it. Go be Job. Bible's already been completed and done. That's why I'm here. It's what I'm teaching you. You want to accuse us of doing drugs whenever your government fed our DNA lines drugs to get y'all hooked in them. And by the way, the whole process of the processing of it that the mafia was using was actually Ormus, and us ancients had to teach them how to do that so that we could get back on your godforsaken planet to take out you sixth root race from your own ignorance so you didn't blow up the fucking universe. But whatever. It's 106 too. Today's the 6th. Today's whenever I got all the Tesla codes and that's why we're on here. Today's the day when I got the Big Bang code. This is all lining up to 2019 Big Bang codes today. And this massive clearing, it's front. So on the energy grids, our energy is going to raise up over it, and it just depends because the way the simulation runs, it's like dimensionally like this. So it just really depends. All of us seeds are where we need to be, and then it'll be moved around if we need to be moved around. Right now, we just don't even know how and what's going to hold and what's going to snap, and then they've already been testing us. We know energetically we're keeping the lights on. The problem's been that the activated teams down here were keeping everybody's lights on. It was our energy that was going out to keep everybody's lights on. But who are you paying? Y'all want free energy. You want to yell at me, but you still want to pay an energy bill and a cell phone bill? Okay. Most cell phones are not even going to work if you can't clean your energy because there's not going to be Wi-Fi in a cable at some point really soon. So this is advancing quickly because it's advancing to our human DNA, not your simulation matrix jacked up on Jab's DNA. So you got to clean yourself up. To all my crew, you already know what time it is. And I'm out of here. What is this high? I'm not even saying it. Any manipulation or bots or anyone that's over here trying to get me to say things or just type things in order to do spell work, because it's what it is, then I command it 10 times and sent back at you. And when it's delivered, I command you laugh about it because it's going to be funny to one of us.